You're watching Soleful Discussions.
All right, so hi, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing great. How did our paths cross today? How did you and I meet?
Well, I'm actually on my way to the gym and routine, trying to build some muscle, and I actually bumped into you, so here I am now.
Absolutely. And so I approached you about doing an interview for my YouTube.
Yes.
Do you remember the 3 topics that I gave you that we're going to talk about? It's okay if you don't. I'll just repeat them.
I actually repeated.
Okay, cool. So we're going to talk about your thoughts about the subject of feet, mental health, reflexology.
Okay.
Cool? So let me ask you this. When you hear the word feet, what do you think about first? First thing
Feet?
goes to your mind. Yeah.
Well, let's be honest.
Be honest.
I don't know. My feet.
Okay, you think about your feet. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Today we're gonna ask some questions about like different thoughts about feet. You just feel free to answer however you like. Okay. What about mental health? When you hear that, what do you think about?
Well, mental health. Let's say like where I was working at a night shift. To be honest, I thought it was draining me in a way, like sleep wise. I have my family going, and it was just draining me. For me, it was my mental health. It was messing up with my mental health. So I just had to get away from that, and then right now I'm working where I'm at. I'm more calm, less stress. So it's way better.
So that life balance is basically what you needed there.
Yes.
Absolutely. Today we're gonna ask you some questions about dealing with like stress and anxiety, like maybe things you have, and I'll also provide some tips and things like that. Just feel free to answer however you like in that moment. Okay. And then reflexology. I know you said you don't know what that is. Don't worry. Okay. I'm gonna tell you what it is today. You just tell me what your thoughts are about it.
Okay.
Does that sound good?
All right.
Cool. Let's start with the first question. In terms of the world, what are some things you think we can do to improve like mental health awareness throughout the world? What do you think we could do?
Well, to be honest with you, just let's say not judge someone by its book, and then honestly, if someone comes and asks you for help. And I mean, let's be real. I've gone to the part where I had no cars. I would go to work and bicycle, scooter, walking. It didn't matter.
Gotta do it.
It didn't matter. So it's understanding to me when I would have a friend say I didn't see her with the car, I didn't see him with the car. I would be, I want to help them in a way like, hey, I know how it is. So and that helps because it was a struggle. So
I can imagine, man. Like I think we've all been there at some point, and that's definitely. When you can't get to where you want to, when you want to.
Exactly.
It's definitely hard. Absolutely.
It is really hard.
Fill in the blank on this question, okay? The world would be better if
there was more nicer people on this earth, because there's just so much, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. People are just so cruel to me, regardless if it's with animals or it's with people. I just feel like if people will unite, as in one, I think it would be a better world and just help each other out instead of judging each other.
I agree with that. If a friend or a loved one was like dealing with like stress or anxiety, something like that, is there anything you would say or do with them to like help them through that time?
Well, let's put it this way. My mom, she's in Mexico, so it's been actually right now for both really stressful because, I'm trying with immigration, trying to work with her papers, so it's been really stressful. So as for my mom, supporting her and calling her when I can, every day actually we text, so, because it's to the point where she feels lonely. I mean, both of her kids are out here, and it's just supporting each other, because honestly, if you don't support one, and if you see that person struggling, you don't support that person knowing how it is, well, it's sad. So I honestly just support, like my mom, I support her, tell her good words every day, have a good morning, be careful, and just, support her how I can.
That's really dope, man. That's really dope. In this question, like you don't have to go too in depth with it, just maybe more of a surface level answer, okay? What are some things that bring you anxiety? And then when you feel like you're being anxious or anything like that, is there anything you do to like counteract how you're feeling? Like anything to kind of change how you're feeling in the moment?
Well, honestly, I've tried to meditate because I know that is really good to meditate, but it's really good. But honestly, there's just sometimes when, I'm going to be honest, I'd be the type that I just lock myself in the restroom and I like just let it out crying because I just don't want my kids seeing it, and then I just don't want that going on. So honestly, that's how I let my stress, anxiety, everything just release and just try to think positive.
I think that's a good one too, because I talked to a woman before, and I think she was a Reiki master if I'm not mistaken, and she told me, she was like, there's 3 different types of salt water that like purge, like, right? She said one is like ocean water, the other one is rain, and the other one is tears. And she was like, sometimes you need those in order to like release, just kind of get through with like what you're feeling to reset. So that's definitely great that you like, know when you're feeling like that, let me just go ahead and go through with it.
Yes.
Absolutely. If you could change one thing about yourself, right, and it doesn't have to be something physical, just like whatever, is there anything you would change?
That's a good one. I don't know. I mean, I'm trying, I'm a mom, of course. I'm just trying to be a better mom because, again, I was doing night shift and it was just really hard not to be there for my kids. So I'm just trying to fit the mom side more and
Yeah,
just
do
support
whatever
my
you
family.
can, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely, I definitely get that.
So if I could be there, yeah, for more for my family, then that's what I'm trying.
Absolutely, absolutely. With this question, just fill in the blank, okay?
Okay.
When I think about my feet, I feel.
I, I feel happy actually because if it weren't for your feet, what were you? You wouldn't be able to. I mean, let's be honest. You wouldn't be able to move or do more stuff and be. So I mean,
Yeah.
to be honest, happy. That's what goes to my head.
Yeah. I always, when I'm on this channel, I always try to talk about because I remember when I was younger, going to church, and my pastor gave a parable. He said there was a guy who was complaining about not having shoes, and like, I don't have shoes, whatever like that. And then he looked over next to him and saw the guy with no feet, and it was like puts things into perspective. Like, be thankful for what we have and things like that. So I'm always like intrigued by that, like to be like you said, grateful for I have feet, like I can move around.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
to be honest.
Let me ask you this: have you ever received compliments about your feet? Has anybody ever said to you, "Hey, you have nice feet"? Has that ever happened?
Legs, not feet.
Legs,
No,
feet.
not feet.
Nobody's ever said that to you.
I guess my boyfriend just says I have nice feet, but other than that, no. That's it.
All right, so let me ask you this: let's say you did get a compliment. You're wearing sandals, and somebody was like, "Hey, I think you have really nice feet." They kept going. What would you like think about that? How would you feel?
Well, I feel great. I mean, they give you a compliment, so obviously that's always good when you receive a compliment. And then, as long as there's no negativity going around, I mean, I'm willing to take the compliment and just be happy. I mean,
Keep it going,
keep
right?
it going.
Absolutely. In terms of when like men and women give you compliments, right? Do you prefer one over the other? Like in terms of the group?
Honestly, it's good to hear from a woman because obviously we have to have each other's back. But sadly, sometimes we actually judge one another, and when it comes from men, I mean, I'm thankful, if they compliment, hey, good, but then some guys kind of
take it a
little too far, so it's actually better to hear from a girl because then they're kind of being, the ones that do compliment you, let's be real, they're real.
Absolutely.
But the ones that don't want to compliment you or are hating, they're always going to start hating. So that's, but yeah, that's my opinion, yeah.
It was interesting, like I was doing an interview, like, I don't know, maybe about a month ago, and there was a girl who I was interviewing, and some girls went by in like a truck or whatever, and they literally shouted out while I was interviewing her, "I think you're so beautiful."
Oh,
and like, and she literally like started blushing so hard, and she was like, "Oh my God, that
made your day." Yeah,
absolutely.
it does.
So I think they like does have a different type of impact. I think if a guy was doing the same thing, like you'd probably be like,
yeah, I don't think she would have been like blushing as much, unless there's girls that do like that compliments. I'm not gonna lie, like but then there's girls that are like, I think so.
Absolutely. In terms of compliments you do receive, is there a certain compliment that when you get that compliment, you're like, man, that made my day, that really made me feel good?
My smile.
Your smile?
My smile.
I think that one's an underrated one, right?
Yeah.
Because I think, like, sometimes people don't pay attention to that all the time.
Yes.
And so it's like when you do notice that in somebody to be able to say, hey,
yes. Because let's be honest, when guys compliment you, they're not compliment you mostly on your smile, your eyes. Let's be real, they're compliment you on what they see. So to me, when like you said, if they notice that, that's a big win because it's like, okay, you're noticing, my smile, my eyes. That's good. But
Absolutely. In terms of pedicures, how often do you get pedicures?
Oh, talking about pedicure, I need to go do mine because I was just gonna go today, but I do it every 2 to 3 weeks if I can. So as soon as it starts peeling, like I was supposed to go today, but I have no time because I'm in mom mode.
Okay.
But yeah, every 2 to 3 weeks, I had to try to get mine because my feet are fine right now, but my nails are already.
You're like, I need to go get these.
I need to go get my nails done. So yeah, my friend lagged on it today, so I didn't go.
Okay.
But yes, every 2 to 3 weeks. Yes.
You get gel?
I get gel.
There it is.
I get gel.
My girlfriend gets the same thing. Absolutely.
Let's go with gel.
Let me ask you this: like, have you ever heard of a medical pedicure before?
No.
So that's when you go see a podiatrist, specialist of the foot. Basically, what they do is take a look at your feet to like make sure like your toenails grow correctly. Like they check your like toe alignment to make sure your toe alignment is straight.
Okay.
They check your feet for like dead skin, fungus. They do all the work there, medical grade equipment. It's like actually the cleanest possible pedicure you get. Like they don't do colors or whatever, but they do clear coats. And, like, they can make your feet like look really nice. But like when you go see them, they're more about giving you like information about your feet, like what's going on, so you kind of know overall health. Exactly. What would your thoughts be on seeing somebody like that who could give you more insight to what's happening with your feet?
I mean, I would go for it if I could go and do my more research on how that works, I would definitely go, because it's really good to have I'm the type that likes to get my pedicure done because I don't like those feet like that. All crusty. I don't like that.
I feel you.
So yeah, honestly, I would go for it. I honestly did not know nothing about that. So
absolutely.
I would go
boyfriend,
for it.
if you're watching this,
yes,
go do some research, get her hooked up for her birthday or anniversary.
My birthday just passed, so yes.
Anniversary. There we go. All right. In terms of shoes, how often you were open toe shoes like sandals and flip flops?
Only like in the summer, let's say, but not. Well, let's say if I'm going to the beach or if I'm actually lazy at home, then I'll do that freely.
But if you're running like a quick errand and you're like, I just gotta go real quick.
I do sometimes. Don't get me wrong, not all the time, but I do sometimes. When I'm on the quick run, I just go out and about with my sandals. Yeah, I don't mind my feet. I like my feet. Absolutely. So thankfully, I have good feet.
Absolutely nice. Let me ask you this: how often do you go barefoot without shoes?
Oh my God, that's a habit that I actually do a lot at home.
Okay.
So that's every day when I get out of work.
All right, cool. Let me ask you this: have you ever heard of earthing and grounding before?
No.
So that's like going barefoot in like grass, dirt,
sand.
Yeah. It's like people do that to like feel like a connection with the earth.
With the earth?
Absolutely.
Oh.
Something you can do for meditating too, because you were talking about meditating.
Yes.
So I don't know if you have a front yard with grass or backyard.
I do.
So what you do is you do this, right? You go out, you stand in like your front yard. What you do is you just focus on what you're feeling in the moment. So like if you're standing there right now, you would focus on, I feel a cool breeze. Like I feel like the cool grass against like my feet.
Right.
Like right now I'm feeling like calm and like peaceful, right?
Right.
You don't focus on anything that happened before, nothing that's gonna happen in the future. Just focus on that moment. You basically get like unclog. You can unclog mental space by doing that. It's something that like really can make you feel like much better when you do it. What would your thoughts be on like doing that? Like, would you start to adopt that as something to do?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I love nature. If I could like be far away, I mean, it sounds cruel, but if I could be far away from people and just stay around surrounded by nature, I would. I'm gonna be honest. I love nature. So yeah, that would definitely be one thing. I have stepped on barefoot on the grass and it does feel good, but I never did what you just mentioned right now.
Like, try it for like 10 to 15 minutes the other day. Just like go stand in it and then just, like I said, just focus on what you feel in the moment. Don't focus on anything else. I guarantee you, like you'll start to feel like some positive energy, some positive things happening because of that. And it was actually interesting. A lady explained it to me like this. She said, think about when you were younger, right? When you would go outside, a lot of times you go outside no shoes on, you just run around. You feel a sense of freedom, right? When you do that as an adult, the same type of thing where you just go outside, you just like plant yourself, you basically can get that same feeling of freedom again. And so she was like, do it for 10 or 15 minutes a day. And I was like, that's something right there.
I'm actually try that because that does sound actually relaxing too.
I guarantee you'll start to feel a difference in that. Absolutely.
I'm going to go to my
So now, in this moment right now, can we see what your feet look like?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. All right, cool. Let me just have you can leave your socks on for now.
Okay. So just take my shoe off?
Yeah. What size shoe do you wear?
I wear a size 8 and 8.5.
Okay.
So.
Cool. Let me have you take both off.
Both?
Put them up here. Cool.
Oh my God.
I know, you're like, this
you
is
know
so
what?
so random. All right, cool. And let me see your toe alignment. Is your bigger toe bigger or is your second toe?
I feel like this one's a little. I don't know. I think it's a little. This one's a little bigger.
Like the second toe's a little bit longer. So have you ever heard of the different toe alignments there?
No.
Okay, so there's different toe alignments. They're called different things. So if your bigger toe is longer, that's called the Egyptian toe alignment, right? Oh. So you might have some like Egyptian heritage or something like that. If your second toe is longer, that's called the Grecian toe alignment. It's a Greek toe. Right. So like a lot of people tend to have some type of Greek heritage and things like that from that. So you might have some Greek heritage. I'm not sure. Have you ever done one of those like 23andMe?
No.
All right. You might have something there. Absolutely. All right. Cool. So let me have you, if you can you like place your feet here?
Up here?
Yeah, so we can see the bottoms. So
okay.
Just kind of.
Try to sit down here.
Just sit.
Okay. Wait.
Wait.
It's right. My feet up here, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
cool.
Just sit there and then just kind of like
lift
put
it
your
up
feet over this way. Yeah. There you go. All right. Cool. Kind of turn yourself a little bit more this way. All right. Cool. All right, cool. And now you can take your socks off.
Right here?
Cool. Yep. I'm how you place them down flat first.
I hope they're not too.
Don't worry. Like I like to get a lot of people who start worrying about that. Like, they're not too bad.
See, they're bad actually. I needed my pedicure already. See?
Okay, and see, I can see your toes are more on the like long side, right?
Yeah, they are. This one's like longer, and then.
Yeah. It seems like you have very nice feet. It seems like
Thank
you take
you.
care of it.
I do try to. Yeah, I try to take care of my
You
nose.
don't have any types of. I don't see anything going on there where it's like, oh, that's a little funky or anything.
Oh no.
So I can tell you take care of them. All right,
yeah,
cool.
I do.
Let me get you feet
back in there.
Yeah, so we can see the bottom. All right, cool.
Okay, the bottom
And
may
then-
be here because I do work at a warehouse.
Oh, don't worry.
So
They look nice. I can tell you take care of them. Do you like moisturize or anything like that?
no, not all the time. Sometimes when it's like I have like my self time, but there
Okay.
again, I'm always on mom mode. So
Okay. All right. So let me ask you this: in this moment right now, how are you feeling? Like we're taking a look at your feet. We asked you some questions. What do you?
I
think
feel
right
good.
now? You feel good.
Feel good.
That's good. That's good. I don't always get that. All right, cool. I'll let you rest your feet for a minute, but leave your feet out. We're gonna go through a couple more exercises. Okay. So let me tell you the mental health of like what got me started with my channel.
Okay.
So during quarantine, I was like watching another guy's channel. He was talking about exposure therapy. Have you ever heard of that before?
No exposure therapy.
Okay.
No.
I'll explain it to you. So exposure therapy is for people who like, let's say you overthink situations or like you get uncomfortable in situations and you're like, I'm not going any further. I'm staying in this like comfort zone right here because I feel comfortable, right? So let's say you did want to get out of that. Like, I want to try more things. I want to like get out there and experience life, right?
Right.
What therapists will tell you to do is like go out, do those things like over and over again, right?
Right.
What it's supposed to do is like the more you do it, the more you'll start to learn to like, okay, nothing bad happened. Like I'm good. Like everything is okay. So when I heard about that, like I'm a chronic overthinker. I like will literally, let's say it was just about approaching you right now. I'll think like, man, dude, is she gonna say yes or she gonna say no? So like I'll go through that, right? But I've learned to like just kind of like go through it. If you say no, I just keep it pushing, right? So I basically had the idea because like during quarantine, right? There's a lot of women who got into foot modeling, right? That was a thing.
Oh my God, yeah,
right?
I heard that.
Absolutely. So like my thing was I had the idea, let's take exposure therapy. Let's take me. I'm going out in public. I'm approaching people I don't know, women.
Right.
And I'm saying, hey, what are your thoughts about this? Can we get you out of your comfort zone to try some of that exposure therapy by showing your feet? Are you comfortable with that? Do you get uncomfortable? What happens, right?
Right.
And so I get different reactions. Some women are like, yeah, for sure. Like I'm like kind of like what you did. Like, oh, whatever, you know. Some women are like, I don't know. I just interviewed a woman right now. She was like, I don't know. It's a little out of my comfort zone. And then some women are like, nah, I'm good.
Right.
But the whole point is to show those reactions so that people can learn to like have an appreciation more for feet because a lot of people feel negative about it, right?
Right.
So like my whole point, my challenge is to show like, hey, there's positives about it, right? Like, you know, self-care, like making sure like, you know, you get into like things like massages that we're going to talk about in a little bit. But medical pedicures, people don't even know about that.
No, I didn't
right?
know about that.
So like, it's all about trying to like make it a more of a positive experience through my interactions with women.
Right.
What are your thoughts about that? How do you feel about that?
I think that's a really good, cool idea that you're going through. I mean, you get to experience different opinions. Different women have, to me, I'm okay with it. But again, I mean,
get something different from everybody.
Yeah, that's always great. So that's always for sure you're gonna get different opinions. But I think that's really good. I mean, again, you're out there, you're out of your you're trying to put girl or woman out of the comfort zone. So that's definitely good.
And it's me too, like, cause this is not easy to do. I promise
Talking to people.
Yeah, being on this side because like you never know what's gonna happen in terms of like, how somebody takes it. And so like when I'm sitting down, like I'm like, how's this gonna go? I don't know. So I'm like a little duck on water. I'll see calm, but like underneath, I'm like, damn, how's it gonna go? So absolutely.
Yeah, because I was a little like, I don't know, because I've never done this. So that's why I was like, YouTube.
Yeah. But how have you felt? Like, because you said that at first.
Yeah.
But like, since we started talking, how have you felt?
No, I feel comfortable now.
There it is. There it is.
Yeah.
So let's talk about reflexology, and then we'll let you get up out of here, okay?
No worries.
So reflexology is all about the different pressure points you actually have in your hands and in your feet. Right?
Okay.
You heard of that before?
No.
Okay. It's called zone therapy too. So basically, what it is like these different areas on your feet and hands that like connect to different parts of your body. So like your organs, like different like ligaments, things like that. It connects to those areas, right? So like when you go out and get a massage, you get acupuncture or like acupressure. Basically, what that's doing is targeting those areas, right?
Right.
So let's say, for example, you're somebody who deals with migraines, right? There's actually a portion of your hands and feet you can massage that alleviates like how you're feeling in those moments. Right. You get migraines?
No, I have a friend that gets them really bad.
Okay, I'm gonna show you where to like target that at. Okay.
Okay.
But like, there's also piercing she can get to in her ear. It will like alleviate the same way. Like, absolutely.
I didn't know that.
What are your thoughts about that? Kind of like what reflexology can do from a positive standpoint. How do you feel about that?
I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't be able to ask because I would have to. I mean, massages. Yeah. I'm gonna be real. I just
have you
only
ever gotten a massage like that targeted your areas? Like targeted on your feet and your hands? You never got those before?
No, I haven't, to be honest with you. I haven't. No, I haven't. So I wouldn't be able to.
But what if it was? Like, so what if you did go get something like that and you were like, man, afterwards you felt better?
Oh, then I would definitely keep going.
Absolutely.
I mean, I would go just to relax myself because I do need one. I'm not going to lie. I've been saying I need one and I need to go, but I have not gone. So I would like to experience that.
Got it. All right, so like usually when we get to this portion of the interview, we like to talk about sensitivity, right?
Mm-hmm.
How ticklish do you tend to be?
What I'm sorry?
Ticklish.
I'm ticklish.
You go get pedicures, are you really ticklish?
Yes, when they start scrubbing, I start moving my feet.
I have a trick for you. You
What's
mind
the
if we
trick?
test it?
Oh.
Yeah. I'm not touching you. I have a tool to use.
Okay.
You mind if we test it?
Well, we can test it.
Okay, cool. Now you put your feet back up there. All right. Actually, hold this for 1 second
Okay.
for me, okay? And then I'm going to actually show you that area too. So before we get started, I'll show you the area where you can tell your friend to target. If she has a boyfriend or anything like
Right.
that, tell him to massage in those areas.
And
Apply pressure, she'll feel different. Okay. So now you put your feet here. Okay. And so what we're going to do, so first of all, here's where the area is. Right here, the base of the big toe.
Yes.
What you want to do is you apply pressure there.
Okay.
You like massage in a circular motion. You can use oils or something like that
Okay.
to basically help with that. But tell her to do it on both feet. And then on the hands, if you put your hand out, all right?
Sorry.
So it's going to be like right here in this area. Basically apply pressure there.
And then just massage
Oils.
it.
Trust me, she'll start to feel like less tension from that.
Okay.
All right. So let's try this now.
Okay.
What we're going to do is we're going to start with the right. I'm going to work my way from bottom to top. Tell me
Okay.
where you feel it at the most. And then we're going to try the other foot. Tell me if that one is worse. Okay?
Okay.
You ready?
Right.
All right, cool. Let's do it. All right. So
Not there. They're right there.
right in the middle. What about here at the top?
Right there too.
So middle and top.
Top.
Okay. Not at the bottom.
No,
though.
not at the bottom.
Okay. So when we
They're
get
right
up here.
there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's try your left. I want you to tell me if you feel it more here. Okay. You ready?
Ready.
1, 2, 3. And
Yeah.
same area.
Right there. Yeah.
Which one was worse?
This one.
The right
This
one
one's
is
a little
worse.
more.
Are you
Yeah.
right-handed?
Less. Yeah, I'm right-handed.
Okay. So here's the trick. I'm gonna show you what to do. I want you to wiggle your toes while I'm doing it. You tell me if you feel it more or less. Okay.
Okay.
So wiggle. You're on the right. And
Oh,
are we
I
feeling it more or
don't.
less?
Less.
Do you know why?
No, because there's movement.
That's part of it. So, but think about this, right? Your mind connects to every part of your body, right? You have to tell your body to do something before it does it, right?
Right.
It sends signals, right?
Right.
So basically, when you're doing that, it's like a distraction. You're distracting yourself from like what's going on.
Right.
But also because you move your toes, it moves the energy. So like the energy moves to different areas, so you don't feel it in a particular area. So when they start doing the pumice stone and you get really, just wiggle your toes a little bit. I guarantee you'll feel it less.
I'm gonna do that. Yeah, because
Absolutely.
it actually did work on that.
All right, let's try the left. Do the
Okay.
same thing here. Wiggle. Less, right?
Less. The
Less
more
of
I
the-
wiggle it, the less I feel it.
There it is. That's the whole trick right there. All right, cool. So last thing we're going to do, I'm just going to have
Okay.
you do some exercise with your feet. This is a test like dexterity and flexibility, okay?
Okay.
So I want you to do first, bend your toes over, make a fist. Tell me if you feel pain or discomfort. Yeah, bend. Easy to do, hard to do?
No, it's easy to do. I do
Okay.
feel good because it kind of it's stretching my
So you
muscles.
feel like the stretch happening
Yeah, I
there.
feel the stretch
Absolutely.
going.
This is something you can do at home, like when you're just like sitting there and just give your feet a little bit
A
of a
little
stretch.
bit.
Relax. Let me get you spread your toes next. Tell me if you feel pain or discomfort. Spread.
Spread?
Yeah. Okay.
No,
Cool.
I feel
Is that
good.
easy to do?
Yeah, that's
Okay,
easy to
relax. Last thing I need you to do is just wiggle your toes for about 10 seconds. Tell me if you feel pain or discomfort. Just wiggle. Is that easy to do, hard to do? Do you feel any cramping? Just keep doing it for a bit because like sometimes people feel cramping happening after a while. Easy.
do. Easy.
All right, cool. There it is. All right, so let's wrap up the interview. In terms of my approach, when I came up to you and I was like, hey, would you like to do an interview for my YouTube channel? What did you think my approach was like? Was it good? Was it bad? How'd you feel
It was
about
really good and friendly,
Okay.
really approachable. So that's really good.
Thank you
And
so much.
it's not. I don't know if you know, but like to me, if you approach someone, you get the vibe.
Yeah. You feel that
You know,
energy.
yeah, and with you, I felt like a comfortable energy. I just wasn't sure about the whole because
Well,
I've
you're
never
like
done
YouTube.
this.
I don't
Yes.
know. Absolutely.
But
But at
yes.
the end of it, like you feel some you got some different tips that we talked about.
Oh, yeah.
Especially for your friend migraines, we talked about being ticklish.
Yes.
Like, you learned so many different things today, right?
I learn something every day. I do.
Absolutely.
So yes.
So let's in terms of like the interview, right, start to finish. Could you see how everything was going in the line? Did it make
Yes.
sense?
No, honestly, it makes sense now that you describe stuff because.
And then you learn some new things.
Oh
today,
yeah,
too, right?
definitely,
Absolutely.
definitely.
Absolutely. So the last thing we always ask, right,
Mhm.
from a mental health standpoint, maybe it's a life lesson you learned, wise words that maybe somebody shared with you that you could say to my channel that could be helpful. And it could be anything. Don't overthink it.
You know, I mean, life's a struggle. Life's hard, but you just gotta keep pushing through because if you don't keep going, then you're not gonna know where you're gonna end up. So just keep pushing through.
Very true. Very true. Thank you so much. We definitely appreciate you stopping while I do this interview
Thank
with
you.
us. All right. Hopefully you enjoyed it.
I did.
All right. And we hope that you have a great day. Okay.
You too. Thank you.
All right. Cool.